everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bosman, and joining us this week, Bradley Ellis,
Yo!
Michael Huber,
Hello.
and Brandon Jones.
Hello.
Does Gladiator hold up?
I think
so. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
it does.
The Joaquin Phoenix, I remember having a weird conversation, a weird performance, but I have seen him in other interesting things. I wonder if that would, affect my perception of his
He
performance.
does weird performances, man.
He does. He makes
was that rapper
choices.
for a few years, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Wait,
like that's
what?
just his
He
thing.
makes choices.
Yes.
Really good music. in
Let's make some
Gladiator.
choices.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's time for Glenny's Cauldron.
Well, a choice.
We're
very
making
important
one
choice.
very important choice.
Yeah.
We have a witch friend, Glenny, who's trying to make a most vile video game. She trusts us to pick up the ingredients at the wizard store. We can only buy one item per day. That's just the amount of doubloons we have. Our patrons are selling us objects. Here we go. Alexandra Nilsson Tofse is offering this, okay? L3, clicking that in, enters stealth mode. R3 is a loud, special super attack. But if the character faces the camera, the order is reversed.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Kiraz is selling that the game launches with a cool jetpack mechanic, but doesn't feature anything cool to do with it.
Oh.
Oh. Dude, I would
So-
go. I want the first one.
Yeah, the first one's worse.
The L3
Yeah.
R3 thing, yeah.
So you can fly around, but there's just nothing. There's nothing to find, I guess, or
I don't think you even get to like fly that much.
The
To me,
game-
like,
it's like a
There's
hover.
like-
It's like a 1 foot hover.
and I feel like you're chained to something.
You're
you know?
indoors a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
it.
You're indoors and like connected to a chain. Yeah.
The funny thing is, sometimes when we come up with these things, it's like, gosh, imagine that. And it's like, I've played worse games, I gotta be honest. Like, there's some worse games. There's games I've played that would be vastly improved with just a 1 foot tall, jetpack.
It says anything cool. So if you're thinking about something cool with a 1 foot tall jetpack, we
Yeah.
have to reduce to that coolness.
Right.
Well, what if it just looks cool?
It could just look
Like-
cool. And you don't have the fuel for
Like
it or
Boba
something.
Fett
Yeah.
had the cool jetpack, but he barely used it.
So true.
And when he did, he looked like a weenie flying around with it.
Yeah, he did. I don't even think Boba Fett has a lot of control over his jetpack.
It didn't seem
It's
like
got
it.
like the two side nozzles.
Like
yeah, there's
Django
no-
went
yeah.
a little more intense with that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, break in case of emergency only, that jetpack.
Would Django be able to beat Boba?
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Django's cool.
Boba's a child. I'm assuming
I don't know.
there's no indication in the HUD that L3 and R3 have swapped.
Right. It's just
So
visual.
that 50-yard line, the 90-degree angle of like where
They're turning like halfway.
Yeah.
So 90 degrees, if you're looking at their ear,
Yeah.
neither button works.
Okay.
So then when you go to 91 or 89, that's when
But
the switch
I can't see
changes.
visually other than the character,
Yes.
their position.
Right. You can totally see visually.
This breaks my heart
It's
every
better
week.
than any HUD.
This monstrous video game we're creating.
gonna be good.
That's diabolical. It's hard to beat.
I'm with you guys, whatever you go with. Honestly, I'm
Yeah.
not.
I would be so mad.
I could be
just playing
swayed
a game
either
like
way.
that.
Also, just you had me at stealth. I mean, stealth is such a great thing to mess with.
Oh, yeah. That even that we have in L3 is the stealth. Okay.
You spent 45 minutes infiltrating this camp, and just the only time you
Yeah,
hit
you
R3
click the button, he
was
just goes,
that very last time.
So I also feel like the jetpack is during a stealth section too. So you get killed immediately the second you start up the jetpack.
We were talking last week about doing a game jam. It's like we're
Yeah.
getting to the point where like devs are gonna be like, I can't. It's like
That's the thing.
that's challenging to make.
It's because I'm trying to like lower them. I'm trying to make them possible for game jam too.
But like you normally think of like really bad game issues,
Yeah.
like kind of correlating with laziness. It's like, well, they didn't put the work and they didn't test it. Like
Yeah.
you got to work real hard to pull that off. I think that's just
Oh, the facing thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're picking it.
that
Thank
involves
you.
testing. That bug
Yeah,
involves testing.
That's programming, baby.
It's not a bug. I think it's a feature.
It's intentional.
Yeah, it's intentional.
Thank you to Alexandra. We're buying it with our doubloons. I get to announce, by the way, we will learn how to spell carcerar at the end of this podcast.
Oh my goodness.
Look forward to that.
We collectively, meaning you as well, will also learn.
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, I'm glad I'm not on this every week.
I know, man. The running lore. It's too much.
Speaking of running lore, it's time for corrections. Begin corrections music, please. The lens flare covering Trish's butt was removed in a recent patch.
Nice.
Only in the U.S.
In Devil May Cry?
Ooh.
Europeans, yeah, Devil May Cry 5. They still got that lens flare.
Flashy
Well,
butt.
we got more gore in RE2 also compared to like Japan, I know.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Wet gore, baby.
A couple of people brought this up. This theory, rumor that Wired, the reason that Wired of all places got the PlayStation 5 thing is that they had a leak They told Sony they had the leak, and then Sony, like House of Cards style, said, we'll give you the official story.
Oh, that's a good rumor.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. Or that's a really good idea.
Oh, that's juicy.
It's too good to be untrue, right? Like,
I
that's-
think it's
so
I think
practical.
it could totally be untrue, but that's a great story.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you, comments. Forza Horizon 3 is not on Game Pass. Forza Horizon 4 is. Final Fight 1 is the only arcade release. I was like,
For Final Fight?
yeah, I was like, why not 2 or 3? It's like those are just Super
Yeah,
Nintendo
isn't Final
games.
Fight 1 just one player too?
That is co-op.
Go on.
Final
Cool.
Fight 1 is? Okay.
Yeah, it's featured prominently in High Score Girl.
Oh.
Y'all gotta watch it. It's good stuff.
What's that?
What is he talking about?
It's a good anime.
Oh, okay. Anime.
Is that like a manga book?
Is that a bit?
Okay,
It's
it
a
is
bit.
not a bit.
Can't see his eyes from here. He's too far away.
I hate this podcast because I never know what's going on.
If you have a Netflix subscription, you can watch a cool anime called High Score Girl.
Got it.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. The name of the Dead or Alive engine is called Soft Engine.
Of course.
End Christ music, please. Of course, yeah. We have some updates. Always like some updates. Square Enix has announced their E3 press conference.
Let's go.
A couple of reasons to get excited about this. Safe to assume after last year's abysmal press conference, they wouldn't try again.
Right.
Last year was dreadful.
Can you refresh my memory? What'd they have last year?
They had
Kingdom
Quiet
Hearts-
Man.
Dude, they played like the Kingdom Hearts trailer. Was it a different one?
It was barely different from the Xbox
Okay.
One.
Right.
They had Tomb Raider, had not come out yet, so they had some of that. They had Just Cause. So they had some stuff.
Some big.
And
big
they had
stuff.
like the
Life is Strange?
Babylon's Fall or whatever.
Yes, dude. The
new
announcement of
game?
Babylon's Fall. What'd you have?
Life is Strange.
Life is
or
Strange.
Captain
Yeah.
Spirit
the
or-
Jason Mask part.
Yeah.
So here's the difference. Not 10 a.m. this year.
Yeah.
Prime time.
6 p.m. Monday night, June 10th. Do you know who used to have that time slot?
Sony.
They're taking Sony's time slot.
Move
What a
over,
statement.
Sony.
Move over. Like, that has to be. They have to have the goods, right?
Yeah, I always wonder kind of what goes on internally when people wait like this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like did they wait just to be dramatic? Did they wait to see when other times would happen? Did they wait because they just weren't ready and they didn't know, like, they needed to get approvals from everybody? We're actually doing it? Okay, great. We know it's going to be in it. Great. Because I wonder, like, what, if they're just sitting around waiting and it's just like, oh, Microsoft goes and like, oh, they didn't take it. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, but that's just, oh, they didn't take it. And just like, should we take it?
Yeah.
Like,
I bet it was totally that.
people
dude.
are ready. They're used to, the night before E3.
I wonder
tuning in.
I wonder if they like see what games they're making or whatever, and then just talk to the teams like, hey, do you guys have something to show?
I mean, you would
And
hope.
they're just waiting
Yeah.
for confirmation on that end.
Yeah.
The goods?
The goods.
There's only one good.
You're saying
The
Final
goodest of the good.
You're saying Final Fantasy VII, I presume.
Of course I'm saying that.
Well, what about the Avengers game? Will you allow me to be excited
It's not
for
gonna
the...
be there again.
No, it'll be there.
I
This
know it'll
is
be there.
If Final Fantasy
finally
VII
the
is there and the Avengers game is not, that'll be something. That'll be
Yeah.
remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've
I-
seen more of 7 so far, to be
Yeah.
frank. We've seen a lot of it.
That was years ago.
Years and
That
years.
was like 2015, I think.
Pre-Easy Allies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were at
Shenmue
GT.
3 is actually coming out before Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah.
That's
That's-
unbelievable.
That's crazy.
But will not be at the Square Enix press conference.
Well, not.
A little less exciting, but hey, still E3 Limited Run is having their own press conference.
sweet.
Monday, June 10th
Cool.
at 12 p.m. Pacific time. If you're not familiar, they are basically a publisher of indie games. They do physical versions of games.
Good
Which
stuff.
is cool. Yeah. I had a lot of people concerned about my laptop, which I spilled Red Bull on last week.
What?
Just an update. It's good. It works functionally. Delete button, a little gooey.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be
Little
gooey.
sticky.
Yeah, a little sticky. But like plus and minus, you know what I mean? Like the backslash, you barely ever
That's
use it.
an important key,
Because
though.
you do so much writing. And I just imagine you writing something that's not good and you're just like,
When I was making for the podcast, Jones, it was the gooey delete, dude. Oh my goodness, this one's a super fun update. We talked about the Capcom Home Arcade thing last week. This weird, like, it's shaped like the Capcom logo. You plug it into your TV. Not available in the U.S. Contains only 16 games, but does have Alien vs.
Alien
Predator.
versus Predator, dude. The dreams.
We did it. We
man.
made it.
I
We made it.
know.
So we might have some insight into why it's not going to be released into the U.S. There's some controversy about this thing.
Wait. It's not going to be released in the U.S.?
No, dude.
Dude, we can import it. It's okay.
At this point last week, I was like, we'll probably hear about the U.S. release soon. Did not happen. what this thing runs on is an emulator called FB Alpha, which is an open source emulator. If you look at like the terms of use for this emulator, it says never use this for commercial use.
Oh.
However, Barry Harris, one of the chief developers of FB Alpha, tweeted out that FB Alpha has been licensed by Capcom Home Arcade, so apparently that thing didn't matter. Somebody got paid something.
Yeah.
Here's another weird, however. It is not made by Capcom. It's being produced by Koch Media GmbH, a subsidiary of the video game holding company THQ Nordic. So there's this whole weird twisted web of this product. I don't think it's ever coming out in the U.S.
No.
Running on some emulator that
much is
apparently
it?
they
It's
license.
expensive,
It's
isn't it?
really
It's
it's like
like
230
$200 something.
USD. Yeah,
Too much
dude.
for me,
It is
even
rich.
for AVP.
It is rich.
It's like a console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So weird that somehow, they got the rights to Aliens vs. Predator. Who even knows if they did, dude?
They're just like, who cares?
Sketch. Yeah.
Because it's not Capcom even publishing this product. I guess they just talked to Capcom and said, hey, can we make this? We'll give you money. And they're like, okay. Go
And the
nuts.
rights are Disney now?
Oh, for Aliens vs. Predator, you're so right, dude.
Oh,
I mean, not to the
no.
game, but
Yeah.
to the license. That's muddy.
Yeah. That's that Disney money.
Disney's coming in.
Don't mess
I don't
with
know,
Disney.
like DuckTales Remastered happened. You know what I mean? Like small scale
Disney
Disney
was
Enterprise.
involved, yeah.
They can happen. They can totally happen. I have confidence. This is not the last we're hearing of Aliens vs. Predator. I have some confidence. The last we're hearing of Capcom Home Arcade. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to go on with this thing. Let's do news. This week's podcast. I was thinking like, if I had like an NPR style podcast, our theme would be, how much is too much? We start with Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat 11. This is so weird. This is such like a weird kind of like unprecedented thing. Okay, so it just came out today, as we're recording today. However, today is not the first day that people have played this game.
Last night.
Sorry?
No, people have been playing before that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So like Street Date broke hard, I think
Yeah.
like over a week ago, maybe
Yeah.
a week and a half prior to release date. Why that is really interesting to me is that they have a public-facing, basically stream. It's called the Kombat Cast, where they spend, I think it's like an hour each week, talking about characters, talking about development of the game. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Especially if you're into Mortal Kombat. On this week's Kombat Cast, on Monday, the day before the release of this game, they said, hey, look, we're getting a lot of complaints about microtransactions, monetization, the economy of our game. We were able to do hot fixes to these. There's such things as patches. Those take a lot of time. Those take money. However, every attribute in the game is tied to a number, so we can decrease numbers and increase numbers, whatever, very quickly. And so before we even get into that, I want to talk about two tweets. But no. I guess we should stop there for a second.
Oh, okay.
They're addressing complaints of their game the day before it comes out. Because people wrote posts on the
already.
subreddit for Mortal Kombat, it's just fighting game forums. It happened. It was out there. And so I think it's really interesting that in this case, it was good that the street dates were broken.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like, it's a benefit to the consumer, it seems like, kind of,
Yeah.
in a way.
And
like,
the reviewers were under NDA. We
Yeah.
couldn't say, hey, the microtransactions are awful.
Yeah. Well, even stranger than that, I can say that I'm working on Days Gone. The embargo's later this week, and that was strange. I saw people tweeting about it, and I was like, "What?" And then I looked at the fine print. It was like, "Oh, whoa! I can say I have this." Like, I obviously can't
And
say
you-
anything.
normally you
I
can't,
can't speak
right.
to the quality of the game.
Yeah.
But like somebody tweeted at me, and there was like, "Hey, new Days Gone patch," and I'm like, "How do you know about this? Like, what?" And like, sure enough, there was, and they were like, "I just want to know if any of the issues." I'm like, "Well, I can't talk about any issues that may or may not be in the game, but it's just
Right.
fascinating that social media is letting me know that the game
That's
I'm
really
reviewing under
interesting.
embargo is updated."
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a ton of lead time on this game, and so it's interesting how that, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a trend, but like you do get very strange examples of some people getting games way early, for a lot of different
I
reasons.
feel like Kingdom Hearts was a month, Brad. Wasn't it super early?
dude, the most generous amount of time
Yes.
I could have ever asked for.
Kingdom Hearts 3 was generous. All right, so I want to talk about two tweets that happened today. First from, let's do Ed Boon first. I like his.
Yes.
MK11 PSA, in case you missed yesterday's Combat Cast, we have a hot fix / improvements coming with a K to address those super hard Towers of Time, as well as better rewards economy to be used in the crypt. Expecting it'll be more like hours than days. We'll keep you posted. Let me do Nether Realms as well. We appreciate the feedback on MK11 so far. And this was just the day of the game's release, right? We're continually optimizing on each platform based on your feedback to address recent concerns about Towers of Time in the Crypt. A patch will be rolling out ASAP. Apologies for any inconvenience this has caused. So
This is awesome. I love this.
yeah, as of recording, no changes yet. We haven't seen what the actual will change, so I don't want to get into particulars too much. I don't know how awesome this is, Huber.
Why? They're listening to the fans. The number one complaint is microtransactions.
Why wasn't
They're
this
gonna fix it.
Why wasn't this apparent? They had no idea that the crypt was going to take 600 hours to complete?
I mean, I haven't put a lot of time into Mortal Kombat 11, but
Yes.
it seems like a pretty massive game. There's a lot of characters, a lot of mechanics, and as long as their core fighting mechanics are sound, which they seem like they mostly are,
Yes.
then that's awesome. That's like the most important thing.
'Cause, yeah, that's what I
so
wanna talk
now,
about. Yeah, I wanna talk
so
about
now
that
it's
too.
just like this weird currency issue, and it's getting everyone upset, and they've immediately addressed it, and they're actually going to fix it. I mean,
We'll see.
as a consumer, I couldn't really ask for anything more.
I don't think we can assume that it's fixed, right? A lot of people listen to this podcast on Friday or Saturday or Sunday or Monday, and like they know more than we do.
But I mean, would they lie? Like, even if they make it a little more generous, that's still
I don't think it's enough. So I want to talk about what the problem is in particular, because I think that the Towers of Time and the Crypt are two separate things. Towers of Time is this weird mode you go to where enemies have weird strengths.
yeah.
Some of them are incredibly hard, nearly impossible, unless you use consumables that make you weirdly strong too.
Yeah.
So it's just like throwing like adaptive elements onto your character and having some abilities, and so just like a poison floor, right? Like just sometimes the floor will be poison and you'll get hurt worse, and sometimes the enemy will have crazy HP.
Yeah.
I think this was an Injustice too.
Yeah.
It's
Living
just
towers.
turned up ridiculously. It is
Yeah.
much harder than it was then, and your rewards are much less than.
Yes.
Injustice 2. On the other side, the Crypt. Crypt has been in Mortal Kombat for a long time.
Yeah.
This is where you like unlock in the past
Skin.
concept art.
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Sure.
You're not unlocking a character in the Crypt, right? However, the amount of coins or currency that the chests take in the Crypt now is absurd.
It's insane.
It's more than you could
Yeah.
ever, like, just if you play through story mode, you barely get past through one room of the Crypt.
Yeah. You'd have to play a year to like get the
Yeah.
entire crypt unlocked.
Right. And so the broad discussion I want to have about Mortal Kombat 11 is what I think they did here is we're always talking about boiling the frog, right? Like a frog will just let you kill it if you turn up the heat slow enough. They turned up the heat too fast, right? They boiled it too fast and the frog hopped out of the pot. And I wonder, like, what is acceptable? What is the right amount of time to spend unlocking consumables?
Well, here's the optimist in me.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat 10 was annoying because you could immediately just pay and the crypt would be unlocked. And to me,
You can't do that anymore.
You can't do that anymore.
All you can buy is time crystals now.
Yeah, so to me, the Mortal Kombat 10 crypt was entirely devalued. I was like, whatever, none of that is special because anyone can come in and just be like, boom, I've got it all. This one, the optimist in me is like, wow, what if the final thing in the crypt is something worth it? It's like a brand new character in there, or like Goro shows up is like my theory. Like honestly, the final room is like Goro, you fight Goro, you get Goro.
We could debunk the theory pretty quickly.
Sure, but like when it's cranked this hard, it's like you're not going to be able to just go online and be like, hey, what's in the last area of the crypt? Because no one is there, no one knows. So in a way, it is more special. It is more secret. Granted, as it stands now, it is a little too Las Vegas slot machine. It needs to be cranked back the other way.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the way they were going, countering MKX and saying, yo, this crypt, there's some secrets in here. And not everyone's gonna know what every secret is immediately the day comes out, like every other freaking game release now, where the day a game comes out, you go on GameFAQs or you go online and you want to know everything about the game, here it all is. Like no one knows.
I bet people already know what's in it.
The very end, I doubt
Probably.
it, dude.
People have had this game for a while.
but it takes so long. It
I
takes
highly
so
doubt,
long.
though. I don't think they'd lock a character behind that. There's no way they
for
would
sure.
do that. There's 0% chance they would do that.
Well, maybe like a cool fatality. You know.
Yeah, I remember
No
like,
fatality.
Like
Maybe
MK9,
a skin.
MK9, the last thing you unlocked was the really bad Melina skin where she's like half mummy.
Yeah.
But it was at least like the any ultimate thing. I think I agree with you, Huber, is cool.
Yeah.
But Brad, I don't think anyone's got that even deep, even with buying.
This is
time
on PC,
coins.
right?
It is on PC.
Yeah, people have already hacked it.
Well, that's
Are
the
you
thing.
kidding me?
Is
Data mine.
I think that's why this mode is online only, which is a whole other discussion. Anytime you're unlocking things for your character, you must be online.
It doesn't matter. People can still hack around that.
They probably can.
Yeah, you ever played Dark Souls on PC, dude?
And if the final reward of the crypt as it stands now is not up to snuff and it is underwhelming, then this entire thing is even worse. But if the final reward is really cool, then I kind of want to give him the benefit of the doubt.
You know what bums me out though, Hubert? I think previously in the crypt, the boxes were fixed, right? Like you could read a guide like, hey, if you want to unlock all the stuff for your character, go to these boxes, this boxes, this boxes. Some of them are random now. Only some of them are locked in. So basically, the crypt is this like 3D adventure game
like a slot machine.
about opening loot boxes.
Yeah, it is.
It's
that.
so weird. It's
It looks
become
cool,
that.
though.
Yeah.
Which is so
And-
weird because its lineage goes all the way back to the PS2 games, which were not about loot boxes. We're not about like grind. Well, they were a little bit grinding. Like you would have to do more than just a story mode. But
And
like,
it's like if you go through the entire story mode, you should get a ton of resources to be able to progress in this.
I should get halfway through the crypt.
Yeah, or like
At least a
it seems
decent chunk.
It seems bigger than you think it is at first.
Yes.
It seems massive.
Yeah.
But you should be able to get a big chunk. They should also have chests where you open up and you get more currency to continue on, because when you first enter the crypt, you open up a couple and it's like, all right, here's like 50k coins. But there should be more opportunities within the crypt to earn currency to progress, because right now it feels like you play the story, you play a bunch, you go into the crypt for like 20 minutes, open a couple chests, and be like, all right, see you in like 2 weeks when I have more currency.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
that's
that's a long
not
time.
fun.
It
That's
is
not good.
An absurd amount of coins.
it is
and
rid-
hearts.
The hearts is a whole nother thing.
Hearts is a third currency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hearts, so you need 250 hearts to open the heart chests, and you get 1 heart for every fatality you do. So you have to do 250 matches. You have to win. You have to win 250 matches and do fatalities on those 250 wins.
Right.
Brutalities are 2 hearts. If you're
Which
into
is really hard to trigger.
brutalities
though.
are hard. Yeah, they're
really
way
hard.
harder to do.
Yeah. So
You can
it's-
get some in the crypt, but not a lot.
So
Yeah,
here's the thing.
but again-
all right, we got it. The Jones take. I
Sorry,
need that.
and last point.
I love
is-
it. No, he's
Last
he's
point-
stirred.
No, it's. I want to give them. I think I'm leaning towards my optimism and giving them the benefit of the doubt because they've immediately addressed it on day one and said a fix is coming.
I do think that is impressive. It's hard to give him benefit of the
that's
doubt,
good.
I guess. But yeah, I get that, Huber. Jones?
I
Unleash.
wonder. I mean, the obvious thing is more money, but I wonder if there was some kind of note or feedback on 10 being like too little. You know, where it's just like they would reach out to fans and be like, "So, hey, how you doing with the crypt?" And they're like, "Oh, done." You know, like, and I didn't buy it. I just went through normally and. You know, I was done with that, and they were like, again, just devil's advocate. Like, I wonder if that was something that they wanted to try to fix, or like maybe that would be gratifying for fans to do something in the long term. And brand manager, like you always do too much, always, because you can never ratchet it in that direction. You know that you can't like day one suddenly make the crypt harder to access now. Now people are like, what the hell are you doing? Why did you do that? Why did you? It's like one thing to nerf a character. It's another thing to like just take literally every monetary value and like do, you know, and then you'd be like, wait a minute, I saw what you did. Like they're not going to tweet that for sure.
Yeah.
But now they're in this position to, too much? Okay, we'll be Mr. Nice Guy. We'll dial it back. And then people are like, for some people, thank you very much. That's enough. The suckers. And then for other people, they're like, no, this really pissed me off. I'm out. And then like some crazy DLC comes in down the road, and it's like, oh, you should play. Like you're not playing Mortal Kombat 11. It's pretty fun. Oh, that microtransaction stuff, they fixed it a lot. Actually, it's a lot better now. And you're like, oh, well, okay, maybe now we'll jump in.
Yeah.
So like we got those people back, plus we got the extra cash from those people who were putting up with it. It sucks, and I don't think like Ed is so great with his community, and so it's like it's painful to think he's in these meetings, mwahaha, you know, like planning people's, you know, just vacuuming their wallets. But you always want, the thing is, and I'm a sucker for microtransactions. Like I've completely fallen into that loop on mobile and been like, I'm enjoying this. This is horrible. But it's like you have to have those moments of just give me something, whether it's not the thing I'm looking for or whether it really has a ton of value or not. Like just give me something. Like if I do a mode and I don't get that joy of the box opens, or oh neat, look at this thing that I got. I'm not even going to use it, but oh cool. If there's none of that for like a week, like that's so rough.
Well, I love
dude, Kyle, you can't even buy the hearts. So it's not
Right.
like a money grubbing thing. It's just tweaked wrong.
You could
like
buy
if
fatality coin. You could buy easy fatality coins.
Which whatever.
Yeah.
But like you can't just be like, hey, I want to spend a bunch of money on these hearts because I can't get enough to open them.
and that's why I don't think anybody's beaten it yet.
yeah.
I don't-
So
I
if
think-
you could, then this whole situation would be way more sketch.
Sure.
But the fact that you can't even buy them with real money is just like, oh, we messed up on how.
So yeah,
many you need.
when Injustice 2 came out, I was praising them for finding an incentive to keep playing. I was really impressed by the way that Injustice 2 handled it. People are mad at the way that Mortal Kombat 11 is handling it, and there's not a lot different. It is just the scale. It is just the sliding scale was jacked up too much.
It seems way too much.
Yeah.
And
But,
what
like,
I'm
they're
fascinated by
talking
the
about how
science.
easy it is to adjust. You
Yeah,
know, they're
yeah.
saying like, oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
We just
Brandon's right though.
you just
like,
turn the dial and you're done.
You're
We're
always
ready
look-
for
yeah.
this. You know,
Yeah.
like, oh, really?
They have
But at the
wiggle
same
room.
time, it's like
Yes.
this is I think a lot. It's the same thing with servers. Like it's always this. It's always these weird little minutia of like how much is enough for you versus me, and then okay, we'll change that. You know, just again full devil's advocate. That's like maybe that's not that hard for them. You know, maybe they're like them playing this game. They were like, oh, we don't consider that too much time because we're playing this game all the time. Like I highly doubt that, but. It's probably based, mostly on get them hooked.
From what I saw, it looked like I might as well just play an MMO and level up every class to max level before I could do this crypt. Because it looked like insane amount of time with those hearts, dude.
Yeah.
Like there was a
hearts
lot,
were ridiculous.
a lot of those, and they're
heart
like
is brutal.
250 to crack one.
Yeah.
So get out of here.
We're saying you can like find hearts in the environment.
Yeah, I saw Ben
still,
get like
yeah,
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are stingy.
Yeah.
Worth saying
Like
actually.
I would cut that in half immediately. It's 250 to open a chest. I'd immediately make it like 125.
And you're right.
And that would still be a lot.
It would still be a ton, but you're right. It seems so much better then.
Yeah.
Even though it's like cutting 600 hours down to 300 hours, you're like, yay! It's like that's still 300 hours, man.
Yeah, and the Mortal Kombat 11 Game of the Year edition will have drastically reduced hard prices.
I don't think so, man.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be just as cruel. The crypt, man. I don't know.
Even from like what I saw of this game, I think even 50, I'd be like 50.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Good God.
Yeah, to open a chest. Yeah,
Because
like
there's
50 would be a
so
lot.
many chests,
There's a
man.
lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
And so, yeah, what I do feel weird about complaining about is that they are all cosmetics, as we
Yes,
started
of
with.
course.
As Huber started by saying, just like the foundation of this game is all there.
Mm-hmm.
You can play all that stuff and have a great time. Brutalities you might be missing out on. I guess I wouldn't necessarily call those cosmetics. They're on some sort of borderline. But yeah, you don't have to spend any time in this crypt to enjoy it. The Towers of Time are different. Like the Towers of Time, you cannot beat some of those. You cannot have fun with it unless you're engaging with and grinding.
Like
some
Ben
certain
is really
things.
good, and he was on like a final boss one, and
Yeah.
it just seemed
He quit.
impossible.
Is that what he was yelling about?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he like used consumables too, and like he had to burn them because it just still wasn't enough to get through this boss. And it's like, dude, Ben's pretty good at these fighting games. Like,
I
what
legitimately,
hope do I have
It sounded
here?
like his landlord called and said, "I'm kicking you out." The reaction I heard from across the room.
What? Yeah. Oh, that was because he found an item in the crypt, and, and he was like, oh, now I can open these chests. And he goes to do it, and it's like, all right, now you need 100 hearts to open this. So it's another type of chest.
He broke open a chest case that had a chest inside of it.
It was the spear. You get a spear,
Yeah,
like
got
the
it.
fire
Yep,
ones.
Yep.
So even when you use the spear, it's like, all right, you still need 100 hearts. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
so many hearts.
Tweak those numbers.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for the like Reddit post of the number. I love when they number
Breakdown?
crunch.
Dude, the number crunch? Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
I know you're gonna move on. I just think it's interesting for this game especially, and I might be, this might be ridiculous because I don't play a lot of fighting games. This might just be like Jones. That's true of every single fighting game. But like, there seems to be kind of like a cockiness to Mortal Kombat. It's like there's a mechanic for you to physically shame your opponents when you defeat them. Like their tagline is "You're next." It's not like I just think like I see people losing more than I see them winning in Mortal Kombat trailers. It just seems like this. I don't know. It's not like a full get good mentality, but like that definitely seems kind of like the attitude of the franchise. So it is interesting to me to have them really be on like this bleeding edge of like, how much do I really want to commit to this?
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems, I wonder if that too, if they're kind of obsessed with the brand so much that they think this is actually fits into the paradigm of Mortal Kombat, or kind of where they want the Mortal Kombat system to evolve into.
Street Fighter V, Jones, we could compare it to, right? Street Fighter V, you can get points through playing online, through like even doing tutorials and stuff like that. And those you can use to get costumes, to get cosmetics, but also to buy characters outright, to buy stages that you can buy with actual dollars. And so it is a weird, like there is a comparison to make there. But yeah, there's no randomness to the Street Fighter stuff.
And Smash Brothers doesn't have microtransactions, and I did not finish the World of Light, right? But man, you get stuff all the time. Like it's just you're constantly, like, oh, look at this little sticker, cool. I'm never gonna look at that ever again for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But I got a little dopamine. That was nice. Okay, I did a thing. And that's just you always want to, even if in the most devious systems that you're designing to like milk people of their hard-earned cash, you have to give them something because that's how you. Evil laugh. That's how you really get them. But is them. I can't stop playing because I do get something.
I bring it up occasionally on the podcast, but it's something that fascinates me. Is the science to that, the math to that? That the lottery was invented in China, and it was this mathematician who figured out how much you have to let people win to keep them to keep gambling, just like. To get people to buy into the lottery, and hey, every once in a while you get $8, you get $3, you keep going, and that is it. There's a science to how much you got to let somebody open a chest for how many hours they put into the game. They didn't nail it with MK11. They might fix it in the future, but like it's so weird. There's math to that. There is a sliding scale,
and that's the thing. When you start this whole conversation by asking like, do we think that's too much? And it's like we have to rely more on outrage than math.
Yes,
because like we don't have most of the math. We don't have those numbers that they're tweaking.
Right.
So.
How many hours should I play to get a new skin for my character? Like I don't know. But there is an answer to that. That's what's insane.
For each person too. It's for each consumer. So.
But there's a particular number for the masses.
Sure.
There is a number that will make you the most amount of money. That will get the most amount of people to keep playing.
Now the realm is searching.
Keep trying.
They're doing hard research to find that number.
I feel like developers too live in a bubble sometimes where they're like, people are only going to be playing Mortal Kombat 11 for the next year. This is the only game they're playing. They're going to earn currency when they play. They're going to play 3 hours a day every day for the next year.
And you don't want those people to run out of stuff to do.
Yeah.
Those are the people you have to worry about the most, I think. I agree with that.
Yeah, I wonder if that was an overcorrection for that.
Yeah, I get that.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, they have, 6 DLC characters just in Combat Pass 1.
Yeah.
And, like, that'll be it. What happens if you do unlock everything? You have all the skins and stuff. The crypt is empty. And then, like, what do you do with these new characters? I get it.
You fight online.
You can fight online.
That's what you do.
Like any other game. Continuing our discussion about how much is too much, we are traveling to Cary, North Carolina for an article that Polygon published today titled How Fortnite's Success Led to Months of Intense Crunch at Epic Games. This is a pretty cool article. This is, I think we can say this now, Schreier-esque. This is Schreier-esque. Polygon published this. Colin Campbell is the writer. An article about how Fortnite became so successful so fast that, and to maintain this success, this team is under crunch nonstop.
I would imagine.
We talk about crunch, right? Like crunch is just like, oh, you got to hit the deadline, got to get the game gold. This is nonstop crunch. There's some selections I want to pluck from this, but we don't cover like every single time a story like this comes out because they are frequent. Video game development is like this apparently, right? Last year we learned though it's not like this for every studio. There are studios who say no, they take a hard stance against crunch. This one I find interesting because I think it's the nature of Fortnite's success that is leading to this crunch. To open though, I want to just take this you always ask why, right? And I think we might have our why immediately, so this is a little excerpt. As Fortnite Battle Royale became popular, it changed to having to get a feature. It changed to having to get a feature done with hardly any notice, and then having people stay until that feature was ready. So we went from having a month to prepare to sometimes having as little as a day. A lot of it was mandatory staying at work with no notice until the job was done. Marketing had made a promise, and so we were told that it had to be done.
Oof. They weren't allowed to leave?
They were allowed to leave, but they would be fired when their contract is up. So basically, they hire a lot of. What is posited here is there are a lot of contractors between 6 and 12 months they're given. The people who were let go, who didn't continue, were the people who did not stay overtime. That was kind of explicitly stated here. And actually, what's interesting about this article is it bounces back and forth between people who are not on the record, former employees, current employees, and a spokesperson who is willing to talk to Polygon, which is actually kind of cool. But it's always just it's this bounce between their take and their take. I want to read one of those spokesperson quotes because I think it's kind of funny. Asked about contractors' workload, an Epic spokesperson said, all Epic contractors have a fixed contract term that is communicated upfront, typically between 6 and 12 months. Epic makes contract renewal decisions based on the quality of work performed and willingness to work at times needed to meet critical release dates, basically owning up to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that. You could have just said quality of work. You could have put a period right there, but then kind of admitted if you don't do this overtime, you probably won't be picked up. And so here, nobody's forced to, right? Everybody could leave. They're getting paid a lot of money. It's also mentioned this. They're getting paid for that overtime. They're getting paid a ridiculous amount of money, but it's stressing them out.
Yeah.
And
I feel like it's that gray area though of you don't need to work. But really you do, or
Yes.
you're going to lose your job.
It is, I would almost call it dark gray.
Yeah.
Almost black. It's just it's almost very clear, just
Dark gray.
Yeah, dark gray, charcoal. It's kind of like that. And what I think is crazy is that it's almost, our question was, previously we'd talk about crunch, we have solutions, right? He's like, here's what you got to do. You do this, this, and this, and this. I want to talk about some of their solutions from the Epic spokesperson. We've continually hired, slightly more than doubling Epic's full-time employee base since Fortnite launched in 2017. Throughout, we've been always eager to hire great new people. The limiting factor on hiring is not financial, but the speed at which we can find and onboard highly qualified employees. We've also worked to contract with great independent studios to contribute to Fortnite and relieve internal workload. Finally, we've refined our release planning of Fortnite features to incorporate the work of multiple teams working in parallel to reduce the burden on each individual team. None of that's enough. They are hiring as fast as they possibly can, and it's not enough to sustain Fortnite as it is right now.
It's crazy.
That's the thing about when you talk about BioWare, you talk about these other games that had to crunch super hard, they
Yeah.
just didn't have the resources, or they're dealing with an engine that they don't understand, or not don't understand, but have a lot of difficulty making perfect. And this is a weird variant of that where it's they're doing great, they're hiring more people because they're going to do more stuff, and I'm sure they might possibly have enough people for to do everything. It's just there's just a lot of stuff that game pumps out. I mean, the game's unprecedented in terms of how much content, how far that game has evolved, how quickly they've been able to change because they're still in early access.
Yeah, and up until this point, Jones, I looked at it, it was like, hey, that's amazing, great work, everybody. But it turns out they're killing themselves.
Right,
this.
yeah.
To
So
make
it's
some
not-
stupid bubble ball that has shields, and then hey, the bubble balls are too strong. And so people are doing overtime to just make the bubble balls weaker, it is crazy, Jones.
Yeah.
That to get to this point, to get to this height and sustain it, you have to have an unsustainable workforce. That's what's shocking to me about this whole story.
But I imagine, I had a very eye-opening, I remember what documentary this was, where the guy was on house arrest, and it was just this horrible, horrible businessman that was like, hey, I'm going to jail, what do I care? And they shot a documentary, so he was like, yeah, I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you why I made all the decisions, why I robbed people blind. And he was like, the thing you have to understand, these people that are in positions to do that are such an insanely small percentage of humans on Earth that get that opportunity, to make those decisions. And he's like, you can look at me and say, oh, I would never do that, but like, I bet you would. I bet if you, lived my life and went through the steps that I went to and had, the candy bar in front of you, you're gonna eat the candy bar. And it's like, if you release Fortnite, it blows up way past your expectations. So you hire all these extra people, and then it gets even bigger. So you hire more people and start doing crazy events and stuff. You have your own booth at E3, and the numbers go up. It's like, why are you gonna stop doing that? Like why your investors certainly aren't going to let you, and
the marketing
you're going to be a bad
team, right?
boss
Yes.
if you don't do that. And so, yeah, it's sometimes when this conversation comes up, it's like especially with Anthem, it seemed like a lot of it was kind of stuck behind creative leads, like writers and producers and directors that like couldn't figure it out or couldn't agree, and like their employees are kind of getting wrapped up in this, where they're like, we need a decision here, and then I'll work real hard. I just don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Where this is just like a tsunami. This is just like almost kind of everybody's kind of getting pushed up in this. Not taking blame away from these people that are overworking them, but it's a very unique case, and I was not surprised at all when I saw that headline. Just like, oh, of course, like they must be, man. I mean, it's like I said, it's unprecedented. Like there's nothing I can compare that to. Even when like Apex launched, it was like, I hope things work out well for this team, but there's no way it's going to have the output that Epic does. You have a company that was already ready, that was just like, all right, I keep forgetting the name of that. The game they canceled. They're like, all of you people, you're working on Fortnite now.
Paragon,
and it's just like,
that totally makes sense now. That absolutely makes sense. Yeah.
Imagine how, potentially sad those people were, where they're like, okay, I'm kind of into Fortnite, but whatever, like, I love this company, I do want to work here, but
and I bet, Paragon was a nice cushy gig. Now you're like, you go from like sitting back, like keeping your 1,000 Paragon players happy, to just like working on this miserable project where you're just doing 70 to 100 hour work weeks.
That is an interesting point about just like, not because they don't want to hire more people, but they just physically can't.
Right.
Kind of said that.
Yeah.
Like that's, wow. I have never really thought about that. Is like, there's only so many qualified people to fill these positions.
Sounds like there's a high turnover rate too, because they're burning through people.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, and on top of that, I guess what I think is like, when we talk about solutions, we're like, well, how do we make it better? The solution is to slow Fortnite down.
I was going to say,
of course,
you got to slow down.
Which will make it less successful.
Right.
Epic has to decide to lose money on Fortnite to solve this issue. Yeah. And that's not...
Well, until the well's tapped of talent, I don't think they will.
Because when it did slow down a little bit, like last season, there was a point when for like 5-ish months, there like wasn't a lot going on in Fortnite. And a lot of people were like, we need something. We need something big, like something going down. And then obviously the pirate happened, and that like bought a bunch of time.
Well, they have more competition now too, so they're like, we got to really step our game up.
Yeah.
Right. Imagine they see that the waypoint marker system in Apex.
They're like, John!
Yeah. And now I'm imagining somebody yelling at their team saying, like, we need this by the end of the weekend.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
Because there's a
even
whole
the-
QA squad too who's always overstressed too. What's up?
Even the respawn bus they added.
Yes. And so like, what? We don't have the capability in our game right now. Make it work.
Yeah.
They've got it. We need it. Yeah. It is so crazy to think about. This phenomenal success is also, as John said, just like so unusual that it creates this phenomenal need. This like unsustainable monster that just wants
And
to
I think deep down, Epic knows it's not going to be around forever. I think they know.
Oh,
like,
I think
those,
they're just trying
those
to-
numbers are going to drop
Yeah.
no matter what. So
Sure.
it's like, and again, just kind of like getting in the mind of an executive, somebody who's like, this much money, this many people like that's involved in the company. There's got to be that part of you that's like, I wonder how far I could take it. I wonder how many people I can hire, how big I can make this one game, how long. It doesn't matter who comes back and who beats Fortnite at the end of the day. Will you have been around for as long as we were? How long is it going to take for somebody to dethrone you?
Yeah. It's like
Just
Guitar
that-
Hero,
that,
man.
That win.
It was just huge for a while, then it just faded.
They've like made a like a dangerous. That's what I'm looking for.
Precedent?
I guess, yeah. It's like I could imagine the future of Fortnite being like every season, one new thing.
Sure.
And it's like on paper, and for most video games, isn't that enough? Like every season comes out, there's like a new theme, a new gimmick, maybe a new weapon or a new item. Cool. But in Fortnite now, it's like every couple weeks, bringing stuff in, taking stuff out, adding different vehicles, changing the map.
And
So
I
it's
think
like-
I think they could be there if it was slow. right? They could employ 1,000 happy people if the growth was slow, and they had the framework to do these types of things, and they were able to hire enough people who could be sustained that this kind of thing could happen. But I think also the spike is really what just created this madness.
Still crushing it on Twitch.
Still crushing on Twitch.
So when the numbers go down, will they like take the foot off the gas or?
No, they push harder, don't they?
Yeah,
They'll push harder for it, yeah.
See how far you can take it.
Yeah, and so it also makes me like more sympathetic to Apex, who hasn't been changing very much, who got a lot of flack for their season pass being uninteresting, battle pass I should say.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, well, you have to kill 100 people to like make a good battle pass. Is kind of what it feels like.
Are
very
you
interesting
excited
article.
for the Fortnite cross endgame event?
Yes.
Because now today they teased Thor's axe.
Thor's. Oh yeah, he's got an axe now, doesn't he? Yeah.
Because they showed the shield first, and then now they showed the axe.
So there's going to be weapons you can pick up.
Yeah, probably like Iron Man's suit, maybe. Who knows?
Or like a gauntlet.
Yeah.
Got to be a gauntlet.
Yeah.
Because you can't like overlap your skin, I guess. But you could be Thanos, man.
Yeah.
Why not Iron Man's armor?
Wow, you feel that?
What?
The shift?
Shit, look at that.
Yeah.
You just keep giving, Fortnite.
Why don't you get back to work, Fortnite?
Yeah, you just keep giving.
Good problem, Kyle.
I forgot that hundreds of people are dying to make that happen.
Right?
I forgot
But when they
immediately.
throw in your Avengers,
That was fascinating.
Let's go.
Oh, it's so
me
wrong.
sick, Kyle.
That's so wrong. Do y'all hear that? Sounds like it's podcast halftime.
Oh, boy. The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of April. Fan Gamer, makers of officially licensed merchandise for games like Dark Souls, Hollow Knight, Undertale, Katamari Damacy, and Persona 5, not to mention Easy Allies t-shirts. Their newest products include the Hollow Knight Collector's Edition for Switch, PS4, and PC, a Prince and Katamari magnetic plush, and a Metaton EX posable figurine from Undertale. Check out their store at fangamer.com. Y2Kyle89 asks, does all this talk about Borderlands make anyone else want to play Team Fortress 2?
Oh.
Car Keys Express. If you need a replacement car key or a remote, check out carkeysexpress.com/store. Use the coupon code EZA at checkout for free shipping and 10% off of your order. They are proud sponsors of Easy Allies. Hogue Law Business Law Firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side, or at least that Good Business Lawyer's YouTube and podcast series, Virtual Legality. This week in Virtual Legality, Hogue discusses Valve getting sued, again, for facilitating gambling, the problem with Sony using content guidelines ahead of written rules, and why the PlayStation 5 was effectively announced in a Random Game magazine interview in April, and of course, Game of Thrones Episode 2. Check it all out at youtube.com/HOEG Law or on your favorite podcast service. El Thanos. Our gifted sponsor this month is the Able Gamers Foundation, a nonprofit charity that aims to improve the overall quality of life for those with disabilities through the power of video games, creating opportunities that enable play in order to combat social isolation, foster inclusive communities, and improve the quality of life for people with disabilities. The link to donate is in the description. Sweet Justice, a sound design company from the southern shores of the UK. They've worked on some of the biggest AAA titles, the most refreshing indie titles, and collaborated with the best development teams in the world, and worked on Fortnite. And our mega sponsor, River Horse. Our friends over at River Horse can teach you the ways of the ServiceNow platform. Do you think that email and spreadsheets are a thing of the past? So do they. See how they're helping companies transform the world of work. What is ServiceNow? It's a platform, a piece of technology that lets people automate their business. They're part of the movement to create great work experiences and unlock productivity for employees and the enterprise. With River Horse, you'll learn to master ServiceNow capabilities through hands-on, real-world instruction. As an authorized training partner, their education advisors are able to teach over 12 official classes. Join them at Knowledge 19 in Vegas from May 5th to the 9th, the industry's biggest conference of the year. River Horse will be teaching in the pre-conference training and hosting several events throughout the week. Reach out to them on Twitter or email to join them and get some free swag. They are proud to support the Easy Allies and look forward to supporting all allies that work in the IT industry. Train to transform. Look them up at river.horse.com. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors. You know how like first emails were sent in the 80s? So like when Riverhorse says like, if you think emails are a thing of the past, I was like, who are these advanced people?
Yeah.
They're already just like, man, emails. I'm doing like cha-chas. And you're like, what is a cha-cha? It's like you'll learn in 30 years. Like, okay, all right, fine. And like cha-chas are just like this thing you shove out of your mouth and so, all right, let's do love and respect.
Love and respect.
Kyle, I noticed you haven't cha-cha'd lately.
Yeah, and what I'm imagining
You cha-cha like once a week
it's
now?
weird. It's like a vocal blast that like bounces off of satellites, like until you're ready to hear it. I'm like, wait, Jones, you'll get it next.
You can feel them around your ear, but
Yeah,
you have to like accept them.
Oh, cha-cha. More cha-chas?
Shut up, Jones. You know what? This is really relevant. This is from Tim Becken. Dear Kyle, would you let us know if Rufus got replaced? He sounded a bit weird a few weeks ago. Just want to know if it is a creepy clone Rufus without memory or who or what he is. Grusa, which means greetings. The original Rufus still. We did Doofus for a couple of weeks. This is Rufus with a changed battery. I did change his battery.
Oh.
But that was a while ago. This is still that same battery that was replaced.
Okay.
Nice.
From the original first episode of the Easy Allies podcast, Rufus.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bless him.
Yeah. Cracked open in a Happy Meal or by myself.
Rufus the first.
Quick question. So this is like a fundamental of my childhood development. When I had a Happy Meal, I had to open the toy last after eating all the food.
The reward.
Is that the same for everybody?
Me.
No.
100%.
No.
You cracked open that toy immediately?
Cracked room that toy whenever I
Yeah,
wanted.
dude,
Jones?
I think I mastered the art of like the sideways like Honey Nut Cheerios box to like have it not spill out, but have all the cereal kind of shift so that I can reach in the back and get it. And actually remember, like I was like 9 when it happened, but I remember like the first cereal box where I opened it up and they put it like outside the plastic bag, and I was like, nice, smart.
No.
Good design.
I'll tell you.
Because I don't need to mess with the food to get at the thing.
I think there were sometimes like cereal box toys I would like let it stay buried because it'd be like too soon for me to get that. Yeah. Because as Huber said, it's the reward. Jones, what do you do with the rest of the cereal box after you already got your toy, dude?
Well, you still eat the cereal. You just
It's
get the
boring
toy
now.
Yeah,
right
it
away.
sounds fun.
The cereal turns boring.
I'm enjoying.
Yeah,
I'm
that's the
staring
reward,
at this
is
toy
eating.
through every meal. I'm remembering the
weirdos.
joy of discovering that.
Coolest cereal box toy to me was these lightsaber spoons.
I know those.
Ooh.
Those were
I
really
remember,
good.
yes.
That was easily best cereal toy. Man. Okay.
Wow.
Best Happy Meal toy, the Transformers that were fast food things at McDonald's.
No way. 0%.
Okay,
Why,
what do you got,
have?
Huber?
Themed chicken nugget dudes.
Oh, they have costumes
the-
during Halloween.
Only
like
the Halloween
hats on
ones.
them
Only the
and
Halloween
stuff.
ones. Otherwise, they were pretty low tier.
Dude, no.
How many
They're so
hearts would
good.
you pay for those Happy Meals? I'm just kidding.
I still have those.
I pay 400 hearts.
How many fatalities?
How weird, by the way, like Birdie, I kind of get early bird, just you're going to have breakfast at McDonald's. They're just chicken nuggets, man. You just pick up those things with eyeballs on them and eat them.
Right.
Weird McDonald's character.
I mean, all the
Weird lore,
McDonald's
weird lore.
characters are weird, dude. Like, what the hell is Grimace? Just
Yeah.
a big purple idiot.
Brad, I know a lot about Grimace lore.
Dude, the
Oh, yeah?
Hamburglar-
we could
Give
dig
me
in.
3
dude.
facts.
The Hamburglar is iconic.
He makes sense.
Yeah.
Hamburglar is not weird. He's
Yeah.
just a guy who
The
loves to steal burgers.
Hamburglar is a relic of a dead age.
You remember that when they had sexy Hamburglar? Was it like a guy? It
What?
was yeah. They made him like a 23-year-old man.
Was
with
this
like,
the 90s?
Yeah. No, this was the 2000s.
Oh, dude, were there like fresh 2K?
No, this was the 2010s, I'll say, in fact.
Oh my god,
Yes.
dude, McDonald's. No.
They tried sexy Hamburger.
Stop it.
Let's play a game. I can't stop doing these. These are too good. Greetings, allies. Inspired by hits such as Halo Ship or Taylor Swift's song, I've prepared for you a game entitled Soulsbourne Boss or Metal Song. Rules are simple. The following list contains
President
either the name of
Melodies.
a
This
boss
isn't fair.
from Demon Souls, Dark
Did a
Souls.
retro. Come on, you picked the
Bloodborne.
wrong episode, boss man.
Or the name of a metal
Oh,
song.
dude.
No, yeah, I think this might go super
I don't remember
fast.
all the Demon Souls boss
Yeah,
names.
we'll see. Praise the sun, love, respect, anachronistic timepiece. Here we go. Leechmonger.
Metal song.
I think that's Demon Souls boss.
That's a Demon Souls boss.
I was totally
Valley
metal with you,
Defilement.
Yeah, for sure.
Leechmonger is such a good metal song. Okay, all right. Last Defender.
Ooh, metal song, I think.
I'll go metal, sure.
That's a metal song.
Yeah.
You know what?
That sounds more Soulsy, but yeah,
I remembered something.
that's the game.
I get a lot of comments every time we play a game. I'm gonna do a random number generator for the rest of this list.
Okay.
Oh,
RNG.
okay.
Because it's not fair. Like people start to get like the
rhythm?
sequences.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who's the guy I always ask you about in Demon Souls?
What do you mean?
He's like the buddy at the.
Bior? Is that his name?
He's like your friend. at
Is
the
anyone
tower.
really your friend?
He's the friend at the tower.
I think it's Bior, dude.
He's got like a sword and a shield.
Oh, Strava.
Yeah, I love
Strava.
That's Strava
Good
hype.
pull.
Okay. Yes.
The Rotten.
Oh, Dark
Oh,
Souls.
that's
Souls,
boss, yeah.
Souls.
Dark
Oh, you all
Souls
know
2.
it even.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so, that,
Dark Souls 2, yeah.
is
Dark
that
Souls 2.
Bloodborne? It's got the one with the hand,
He's got hands.
all the skulls, and then like the little skinny hands come
That's
out.
an
Or is that-
Anito.
Okay.
Nito.
The One Reborn.
That's-
Oh, yeah, of
Bloodborne.
course.
Easy.
Classic,
Yep. We got that. Please. Look who you're talking to. Man, this is actually super easy. Deacons of the Deep.
That's a
Oh,
boss.
that's Dark Souls 3.
Yeah,
like that boss.
Yeah, I know that one too.
Oh.
You played it.
I know, man. I'm in on this game. I'm having a good time.
I went through it with Kyle. It was super jolly.
Ceaseless Discharge.
That's a boss.
That's
Yeah,
a boss.
that's a boss.
That's a Dark Souls boss.
That's right.
And it's just like a big body of lava, right?
Yeah. Tragic backstory.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
What is the tragic backstory?
He's like disfigured. That lava burns on him forever. He's in pain always, dude, when you see him.
What do you mean he? Like it's a giant mass
Was
of
it
lava.
the king?
What?
Was it the king
No.
or no?
This was a living
Yeah.
man
Yeah,
once?
it's like a living being. It's a living being.
Okay.
He's in pain, man. Constantly like lava bursting on them.
No.
You think anyone has a happy ending in those games or
But you're-
any happy life?
I have to believe if my body was made of lava, my nerves would eventually just
His-
fry over and not
This
feel
is
it anymore.
Dark Souls, bro.
Magic.
Okay.
Yeah, there's magic, dude.
Magic nerds.
Graveheart.
Metal song.
Metal for sure.
Yeah, nailed it. Dragonland is the name of that band.
Nice.
Dragonland.
Nice.
Cool band name.
That is a good band name.
We are Dragonland.
Lord of the Blacksmiths.
That's
song.
Yeah, that's a metal song.
That's a metal song.
Very Soulsy though.
Yeah.
Good pick,
I was
good
like,
pick.
is that an the Andre title or something?
Falconer is the name of that band.
Nice.
Falconer. Okay. Master of Illusion.
That's a metal band.
That's
would
the
seem metal to me.
Mickey. That's the Mickey
Master
Mouse
of
game.
Illusion.
No.
Yeah, it's a metal. Song.
Unless it's like a weird subtitle to
Wait,
their
isn't
name.
it?
Isn't it the Mickey game? Castle
Castle
of
of Illusion.
Sorry.
It is a metal song.
Yeah.
Power Quest is the name of that band.
Power Quest.
These are like
Yeah.
power metal bands, dude.
I
Yeah.
love it. Okay. And the last one. The Lost Sinner.
That's a boss.
That Dark Souls 2 boss.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? That
Yeah,
game.
man, that was insane.
was 10
You
for
got
10.
the
This is
wrong
impressive
panel
though.
for
This
this.
is impressive though.
No, I kind of
I
like
enjoyed it.
I wanted to throw that at Brad. I really did actually.
Test me. You gotta take your Soulsbourne test to make sure you got cred still. Gotta renew it every 2 years or so.
Driver's license.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad, like you renewed it, dude.
Stamped.
Like with my new driver's ID.
Even
it's
saying the
just like-
game, like even so quick too. Oh well, yeah.
Yeah. There's like new advanced IDs. It's like you have to do the Pro
Yeah.
ID license. You got your Pro ID license.
Yeah.
I'd love to do like a Michael Huber Resident Evil test where I just read random letters.
Too high stakes.
You know,
I would lose. I feel like.
just like a page from one of the letters you pick up. And
That'd
just
be
like,
really good.
What
Because
game is it? What game is it?
Because I love.
So you start with
yeah, remember.
Itchy Tasty, right? You start with some ones that we remember.
Yeah. It just gets harder as you go
Make
along.
some up. That's pretty good.
White brains in a sea of red.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah, you ruined that note for me forever. Every time I see that, I just think of you.
With E3 on the horizon, only about 1 month and change away. Why are my hype levels for E3 so low?
Because Sony's not there.
Could the panel give me some much needed hype? Thanks, Ryan.
Final Fantasy VII remake.
7.
There you go.
Control.
That's all you need.
No,
Control.
stop this. Do you two believe that?
That it'll
Yes,
be
I-
there.
Yes.
This is it. This is the time they're doing the concert, Kyle. Kingdom Hearts 3 is out, baby. This
Yeah.
is like the next focus.
Yep. Resident Evil 2 DLC.
Where?
Where?
That's gonna be at E3?
That's yeah.
Okay.
Could be in this, dude. I'm also factoring in the E3 Sony state of play, which they continue to deny, but we all know that it's happening.
Yeah, it's the week
You can't
before.
lie.
They're gonna do like the week before.
can't lie.
They'd
They'll
be
be
like,
like,
"Well,
"Oh, it's on at E3."
we got
got your
3 week.
number.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's happening.
Maybe
So please
maybe
be
during
excited.
Judges Week, just to kind of get caught up in that the early hype.
I'm just, I relate to Ryan. I feel like E3 this year might have weird vibes. Is anyone else feeling that way? You think it's gonna be fine?
Well, E3 is always weird. It's always been different. Yeah. But like, here's, and I didn't really think about this until right now because E3 is always exciting because it's our business. But like, every time I'm done with E3, there's always like, man, there was just too many games. There's just so much to check out, and I didn't. And it sucks. That Sony press room is a thing of beauty, and I'm gonna miss it terribly. But maybe this will open up some other fun opportunities for fun games that we would have otherwise missed, because there's just not going to be we're not going to run out of games. It's like never going to happen. Even if Microsoft left and Nintendo left, and there would still be so much to check out, so much to enjoy.
Yeah.
And like my favorite part of going to PAX, I haven't been in a while, but like when I would go to PAX West, it was just, what is this thing? Like you're shopping for games at IKEA. You just walk by and see a television. You're like, I love this just from looking at it. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And so like it'd be neat to see. What would be sad is if I go like to the back area and like E3 is physically getting smaller, but like I hope people take the Square Enix presentation route where they like grab that space. They're like, oh, Sony's not gonna be there, okay, and then like whoever they moved, someone else grabs that spot, and I'm okay with that, just as long as it's like, yes, everyone battle for my attention over like what are the best games.
Were you saying Damiani was talking about like Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, Damiani's like throwing out like things like he thinks
control.
Breath of the Wild's successor will be there. Damiani's getting me all riled up. He's talking about Chrono Bean and Smash.
Yeah.
He's killing me.
Yeah.
So Nintendo is still there.
Yeah.
Nintendo's
Oh,
there.
sure.
Yes, you're
And
right.
I know it's brand manager PR speak.
Okay,
but
bring it on.
I forget where the interview was, so I apologize. But Phil Spencer talked about that he has a responsibility now that Sony is not there. He's like, it is our responsibility to
Pick up the slack.
to show the world this industry in all of its glory. He's like, so get ready, we got a lot coming.
Well, then let me ask you something about the Xbox press conference.
Yeah.
Last year, there was no more room for games. It was games.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll be the same this year?
Yeah, I think he kind of spoiled it where he said that all the studios they bought are going to be there, showing what they have. Obviously, some are further along than others. So, some people, each studio will come out and go, hey, here's what we've been working on, which is exciting.
Fable tease?
Fable tease, whatever Ninja Theory's doing, let's go.
Here's a really exciting thing too, Kyle's. We're on the end of our generation of consoles. Like, we could start seeing more next-gen games at E3. We could see a taste of like what next gen's gonna bring.
We will see a taste.
We will see. I think we already saw with Cyberpunk last year.
Yeah. Ubisoft will be there.
Ubisoft is going to be so hyped. They're going to have Watch Dogs 3. They're going to show Assassin's Creed Vikings running on next-gen tech.
They will be showing next-gen tech.
Yeah. They're going to be like, here's the new
that's
Assassin's
exciting.
Creed.
You know what? That's exciting.
That's exciting.
I love a next-gen E3.
I wouldn't be surprised for more Microsoft deep dives. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to like spend a little time with Halo Infinite if we get to see more of that. Like spending a little more time with stuff that they have exclusive.
I
Because
would like that a lot more, yeah.
that just seems like kind of the natural follow-up to a big announcement type show. That like now we got to give you more information. We don't have more to announce because all those things are under production. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we like spend a little more time.
Wild thought. Is there any chance in this crazy world we live in that somehow Sony piggybacks and is somehow in the Microsoft press conference with a game? Would that ever happen? We saw all of them at the Game Awards hanging out, camaraderie, bonds. Could Sony just be like, hey, we want to show one game?
For what benefit? I don't understand.
I'm
how
just
that would even be
spitballing, just
structured.
throwing it out there. What do you guys think?
Yes.
You think it could happen?
It's not a Sony exclusive.
Okay.
They're out there for
Sure.
GTA 6. It's just like we're all putting time and money into this game, this multi-platform game.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer is a good friend of mine.
Yeah, or like
Sean Layden
this
comes
is
out.
so insane. This is so insane and so very much not happening. But like it could be an Ori move. It could be a Cuphead move. Or it could be like Journey is now going to come to Xbox or something. Like some PlayStation darling, like the first Uncharted or something. Whoa,
Yeah,
that would be pretty crazy.
Right, we
and
had
like
Detroit
not that
on
hard,
PC happening.
for Sony to do.
Yeah, why
But
not?
I mean, what? What on earth? You madman?
God of War.
No, I mean that was where I went, and then
It's God of War.
Oh,
shaped that thought to something more realistic.
Sly Cooper.
Sly Cooper,
the
baby.
PS3 one, Sly Cooper 4 is coming to Xbox One.
I'd be like,
It's just
yeah.
PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
It's coming
Coming
to
to Xbox One.
Yeah, that will not happen, Huber, but it was fun to think about. And you did. I hope you got Ryan hyped, but you did get me hyped as well.
There's a lot to be excited about.
You know, we had time for one more quick game.
Okay. Great.
And this one's way harder. I feel like I did its disservice. Whenever I do a game, I think of that father who listens with his daughter, and his daughter makes fun of him when he gets the questions wrong. So, like, we're really going to test you here. Love and respect. How much is that console in the window? Howdy, allies. With the recent announcement of what is most likely the PlayStation 5, the rumored Xbox with 2 launch models, and with rumors abound that Nintendo has not only a more portable version of the Switch on the way, but a possible successor in the Switch as well, I worry that I might need to take out a small loan to afford them all. I thought it would be fun to play a game about console launch prices. The goal is to select which price out of the two possible ones is correct. Hope you play and hope you enjoy. Or playing.
Okay.
The Atari 2600
Yeah.
was that. These are all US dollars, by the way. $199 or $249.
No
$249.
idea.
$249.
I'm gonna say $199.
Brad's right. $199.
Oh, okay.
Not too bad. Hey.
Not too
Yeah.
bad.
I mean, like.
It's like one of the first, so I would be surprised if they had no idea.
Yeah,
I was
was
like,
the
what?
Neo-
70s.
Is the Neo Geo on this list?
It is, dude.
So
we'll get there.
hyped.
We'll get
I'm
there.
ready.
We'll get there.
I'm
I think that's
so ready.
pricey, dude.
Oh yeah.
I hope the Atari Jaguar's on this list.
600. Something
I
like
don't
that.
know if it was I think it was 400, but yeah.
The Sega Saturn.
Oh,
$299 or $399?
That's
$299.
$399.
Is it $399?
I'll go
I
two.
think it's $299.
$399.
Yeah, it was pricey.
Ouch.
I didn't get one because it was so expensive.
Yeah.
Because I was
Wow.
a Genesis kid, and just like, wow, we're not getting that.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Man, and that thing, they supported it for like a year. They got like 1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
Man, cruel. TurboGrafx 16.
Okay.
$199 or $299?
$299.
$199.
$199.
Yeah.
It was only that? Okay.
I think that was never like, that was not a rich console.
It was not. No.
Yeah, that was the bonk console.
Blue collar.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
blue
like
collar bonk console. Yeah,
cards and stuff.
yeah, bummer.
TurboGrafx.
Because they were like proud. They were proud, like, hey, your NES only has that many colors. Look at our colors, and we're like, we don't care. It's like,
We got bonk.
I don't want to play bonk. Get it through your head. The Atari Jaguar,
Yes.
$249 or $349?
$349.
$249.
What?
What?
Yeah.
What?
$249.
We need a fact check, Brandon.
Yeah. Where's
No,
Damiani?
okay. Well, I just the only
doesn't
reason
know
I picked the more
Jaguar.
expensive one is because I didn't have enough money. Like I saved.
All of this seemed like, way more money
I
than I had.
saved
Yeah.
forever for that console, man. And I had like like cash, a giant wad of cash, like down to like 10s and 5s and 1s.
For the Jaguar?
bills.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's
So hold
for,
on, this
it's
is
for AVP, right?
94?
Oh, it's
It is
again
AVP.
second
Oh,
time in
that's
this podcast, different AVP, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I mean the first-person Aliens versus Predator game was over. I was like, I'm so.
Where did you see
I have
that?
to play that.
Where'd you see that game?
EGM probably.
Oh, okay. So
EGM
you
was
had a
my
review
mag
for
at
it,
the time. Yeah.
And this was 94, right? Did you feel
It's
bad about it
mag.
afterward?
Not Mag.
Yeah.
When did the Jaguar feel old?
Immediately.
I mean, almost immediately. Yeah, within months. But I mean, like certainly now it's not, but like at the time that was a $310 game, no question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was willing to spend that. That was insane. It was a scary game.
And I think they advertise 64-bit console today, right? Like, and we have 64 bits. dude.
Bits, yeah.
Yeah. Mattel and Television.
Ugh.
$299 or $249?
$249.
$249. Sure.
$299.
Television?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
I feel like
television's great.
it's like
before
one
our time.
gen after Atari, right? Is like kind of that area.
Our time was NES.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
The Sega Genesis then.
Oh.
$229 or $189?
$189?
$189.
$189.
$189? Are you out of your mind?
$189.
Yeah.
I think that which is crazy because like the games were still like 60
Yeah.
or 70,
Yeah.
right? Like
Dude, I miss Genesis boxes. They were so nice.
they had a feeling, dude.
Well, compared to like a Super Nintendo box where it's just like flimsy cardboard, it's like hard case. It's nice. Nice, satisfying
I
shut.
lost my Streets of Rage 2 box, and it hurts.
Some fan you are.
We're doing a lot of associated memories today. I had this friend who there's like a local Fox station, right? And during like Fox Kids, they would have contests. He won twice. He kept winning Genesis games from Fox Kids.
Whoa,
and it made me
sick.
so mad. But I didn't have a Genesis, so it's like, I'm not going to enter this contest. But he's like, I got Power Rangers Genesis from Fox. I'm like, dude, come on.
What did he do?
You
What was the
you just
contest?
send in your name. You just like write in, like send us a letter to P.O. Box, blah, blah,
So
blah.
cool.
Get it
Fox
like
Kids.
8 months later.
Yeah. No, get it fast too, dude.
Really?
It's just like a local
Oh, it was
Endwell
really
station,
close?
right?
Okay.
Like Endicott. Oh,
That's funny.
the Neo Geo.
All right, here we go.
$549 or $649?
$649.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Whatever the highest one was, I was
It
going
was
with that.
rich.
Yeah.
It was a rich console because
Wow.
basically that's an arcade cabinet.
Yeah.
That was basically the appeal is you have an arcade perfect machine in your house.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what that looks like. I'm not exactly sure what the.
It's beefy.
Whoa.
Yeah, I couldn't
big-
either.
big games, too.
blocky beef.
And the games are on cards.
Yeah.
The games are on
Like
strange,
big
strange
cases,
cards.
what I remember.
Yeah. 3DO.
Oh.
Ha! Yes.
Oh, jeez.
$5.99 or $6.99?
$5.99.
$5.99.
$6.99.
$5.99.
$5.99.
$6.99.
Are you kidding me?
Get out!
The richest console
For 3DO?
for 3DO to play those Zelda games. You're paying $6.99.
Wow.
You have an in-ground pool.
And everyone's giving.
You have rollerblades, and you have this thing. You have a 3DO.
Everyone's giving Kaz a hard time.
Oh, for the second job thing?
The $499
No, that wasn't Kaz.
Oh, okay,
US
okay.
dollars.
Yep.
Was it $499?
$509 US
$509
dollars.
dollars.
Yeah, that was
dollars.
Kaz. That was Kaz. Yeah, it's $509 US dollars. Yeah, it was still cheaper
Silence.
than 3DO. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I owned one. Should I feel bad?
Yes, dude. You should feel bad.
Like
I mean, I don't
Wait,
care if
I
you
feel
own one.
gross.
No, I want to know why you wanted it though. That's why you should feel bad.
Because it's a gaming console. I was just obsessed with video games. Like
Yeah.
but I never got a Genesis. I never got. When I did get a Genesis, it was with like my own money. I saved up to get that. But like all the Nintendo stuff was always a gift. Like my parents bought me an NES, an SNES, and 64.
Sure.
And I remember they got me that 3DO. Like there's no way I saved up for 3DO. And I remember we played it as a family. Like there were some weird like party games and stuff on there.
Jones, I'm guessing though it was not $700 for long.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
guessing
that
this
was
thing
it.
dropped off hard.
Yeah, okay, so launch,
A month.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like, wow,
Yeah.
like I can't, I just, I can see my parents being like, "There's no way, $700
Yeah, you should-
for
Jones,
anything."
you should not
I
feel
can't
that,
remember
right?
anything in my life I ever got from my parents. It was $700.
I bet it went down to like 150 at KB Toys.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, you know,
okay.
just 700 was, they were that confident. Here's how confident
Yeah,
they were.
because unlike
in
the Jaguar,
3DO.
I don't remember like any one game. I think Gex was on the 3DO.
Can I look up how much one costs right now?
A 3DO?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm actually curious.
But yeah, I just don't think it was something that was like I need to have it. Like I don't
Right,
think
yeah.
I like mowed the lawn or anything. For
Then
3DO.
I think there's no way they spent 700 on it.
A
Yeah.
used 3DO is
Yeah.
130 on eBay.
And I remember the day I brought in
250,
3DO came up for something, some video somebody was making, and they were like, "Well, should we get 3DO?" And I was like, "I have one actually." They're like,
collector's
"You
item
have a
at this point.
3DO?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I'll bring it in." I brought it in, totally didn't work.
Yeah.
Like,
I do remember that, Jones.
and
That's
that
such a
3DO
bummer,
just
yeah.
sat on a shelf the whole time. Like I
Yeah.
never didn't move
How much
or
is
anything.
Saturn?
Didn't do anything with it.
Look up a Saturn. I kind of want to buy a Saturn too.
Good pick. Probably some quality JRPGs on there.
Yeah, or Dreamcast. I'm like, I feel like
God, why don't you get both?
it might be the Dreamcast. Save it up.
I mean,
Because
yeah.
I got to save up.
Dreamcast is the better console. I don't think that's a. Is that a question?
$100.
$100 for a Saturn, dude?
$100.
Getting both, baby. We're going to
Amazon.
Yonkers and getting both.
We're going to Yonkers, baby. We got to win 2 bets, and then I got enough.
Used and new from $105
Wow.
for the old Saturn.
Nice. Speaking of bets, it's time for bets.
Ooh.
Nice.
Look, I don't like to do Metacritic bets. I don't like to do tomato score bets. But I do like to do movies. We have no impact on.
Yeah, like we're
Right,
part of
right,
Metacritic.
yeah. Who cares, right?
Games,
So
tremendous impact.
yeah, we have a
But
huge
movies,
swag.
no.
So yeah, we're betting on the tomato meter score for Avengers Endgame at this point next week. Jones, what do you think it's going to be?
9.6.
So
isn't it
96%.
96. We'll say
96%,
96.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
96%.
Yep. Huber,
I'm so confident with my bet. 85%.
why are you so confident?
Rewatched all the movies. When I did, I checked all the scores.
Why though? This is the part I don't get. Why would you check all the scores?
Just after, I was like, what did people think of this? Do they like it as much as me? Do they like it less?
What one were you surprised by the score?
Infinity War, 85%.
So you're
This
going
is-
straight. You're going flat.
This is next week, right? So The scrolls will be really high initially, and they'll go down over time.
That is how that works, yeah.
93%.
Okay, all right.
That's pretty good.
And then I have 83%.
Gah.
Let me lock those in. I think people are going to be rude to it, Huber. I think the reviewers will be rude to this movie
Well,
in a way it doesn't deserve. That's what I'm scared of. That was a fear bet.
Yeah.
But why now?
and this is just nothing but hope. This is
What?
just
Why now,
joy,
though?
Happiness.
Because it's like
This is it.
it's a conclusion,
Yeah.
right? Like Infinity War, you can't have that impact again. However they're deciding to end this, it won't feel the way that movie felt at the end of it. You can't
like
repeat that.
Walking out of that theater.
I thought
Yeah.
like Thor 2 people had already been like done. And it's still going.
Thor 2 rules. Oh wait, no, Thor 3 rules. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah,
Thor
not-
2 can bite my butt.
Best Loki though. Thor 2.
What was the tomato meter for Thor 2?
Oh, I think it's like 70 something or
Okay.
even 80 something. It's
Look
surprising.
at that. What's
They're
the
all
max? Is Black Panther the maximum?
Yeah, it's like 93 or 4 or 5.
So we're
or
capping
something.
off at 93, Jones.
Yeah, I don't think
And you got
anything
96
really-
over here.
96 is like
I
insane.
got the other end though.
Sure, you got the other end.
We
You got the other end.
played. We're a good team this week at least.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel really surprised me. It was like 70 something.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Okay. Last week's bet was about Mortal Kombat 11, which released today, Tuesday, April 23rd. We had an unranked online match. We picked the default character, which is Scorpion. And once that match began, we held only the block button, R2. How many real-time seconds until we lose one round? Jones, you bet 45 seconds. Ben bet 12. Bloodworth bet 49. I bet 12. I think I wrote that down wrong, but it doesn't matter because the actual time it took was 42 seconds.
The actual
believe that's
retail
true.
price is
It's Jones was 3 seconds off.
Yeah.
He's so proud.
I'm
If
kinda
you're
strangely
listening,
good at these.
You're missing.
This is not the first time I've won the whole
This is like
block
Jones
fighting game
feels
bet.
himself.
smug.
With 2 weeks in a row, we actually had Jones field himself last week.
Oh no.
I'm actually pretty good at this.
I'm pretty good at
Oh,
this.
you know what? While we're
What?
just had another. Somebody tweeted something at me, and I was like, oh, hey, all right.
Am I gonna have to bring it up?
What?
No,
By the way,
no,
Usher
I just
got
wanna
us
mention it.
demonetized last week. If you really want this again, like,
Did it really?
Yeah. I played too much of it.
Somebody brought up when we were talking about what the next From Software game was going to be, and I said it'd be cool if it's like Neo and it has stealth.
Whoa.
Whoa, when?
Bold.
At what time?
2017.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
All right.
That was cool.
Yeah, you know what?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Man, we're talking
Pretty
about
good.
0.5% of all predictions I make. You know, it's like when it lands, you know, that one time it actually like makes it onto the dartboard.
Yeah.
You gotta celebrate.
I'll give it to you. I'll give that one to you. Yeah, even when
And thanks to whoever tweeted that to me.
even when it was like Shadows Die Twice, you know, like just a spinning bloody rope. Like we still wouldn't say Neo is stealth. Like that was good, dude.
Well, that was
yeah.
way before I'd seen anything.
Yeah.
I think by the time the trailer came out,
Yeah, we
I
all
was
thought that was like a
just-
trick weapon
my
or
mind
something.
had melted.
for
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm thoroughly impressed. That brings our totals to Scrappy Little Pigs 9.
Whee!
Gorgeous Gorillas 7. Keep in mind, everyone, I will tell you how to spell Kassarar soon by the
God.
end of this podcast.
God.
But before
Is it with
that,
a K or a C? Can you give us that?
No, no spoilers.
no spoilers on the spelling of his
This is
name.
in-game status, Huber.
I need to tell you about patreon.com/easyallies, which is the important thing. This is the website you would go to if you want to support the Easy Allies, figure out the other types of things that we do. Of note to listeners of this podcast, if you give $5 or more a month, you get this podcast 2 days early. You get it on Wednesdays as opposed to Fridays in both audio and video form, and you get to submit to our segments like Love and Respect and like Lenny's Cauldron. Oh no. Wouldn't you believe it?
What?
Just as I was about to tell you how I'm going to spell Kasarar's name right, he I-ams me.
Changed his name.
IMs you?
Yeah, I know.
I-ams
Yeah,
me,
he's-
dude. Here it is.
he's got a camera in the building. It's a whole thing.
C
It's a C.
A H R S U R R A U H
Oh,
E R.
Cool.
that's good. That's good.
Thanks for signing that.
It's intimidating.
And that's not the worst of it. The reason he messaged me is to tell me that he bought the jetpack that
Of course,
isn't cool.
of course.
Yeah.
His name, like his actions, he just does no one to stop. A nemesis, if the show has ever had one.
Stars.
As I'm going through this, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, why do I think this is funny? Like, what is wrong with me? This is the funniest thing I've ever done in my life. Why?
You watched 30 Rock, right?
Yeah.
The rural juror was hilarious.
Carcerar is a lot like rural juror. Yeah.
There was one of the cast members on the show. It was I can't remember the actress's name, but she was like, "Oh, I'm in a movie. My movie coming up, The Rural Juror."
Jane Krasowski?
Yes. Most likely.
Yeah.
Very close. She's like, "Oh, I'm in that movie, The Rural Juror," and everyone else is like, "What the hell is she saying?" And it's the rural RURAL juror, like on a jury.
Yeah.
But she would do kind of an accent, the rural juror, and I'm like, what? And that's again, no laughs at all. But like while I'm watching the show, it's like, why the hell is this so funny?
Yeah,
it's such a good bit, and it went on forever. Like people, could figure out what the hell she was saying.
Just to be clear, though, if you are confused about what is happening, that is a real wizard who hates us, who is buying the items that we don't buy at the wizard store. Yeah, just to be clear.
But we're just. Moving forward now, I think we're strong in our resolve.
You think our game is more vile than his?
Believe in this game.
Yeah.
I think this game is terrible, and I'm not afraid to say it.
To tell you what's going to happen in the future, because we talked about it turning into a game jam, I think we're going to include a couple more broad ingredients, and then we're going to get particular for a few weeks.
Okay.
Like, hey, we need like a main character, things like that. And then we'll do it. We'll game jam it up. I think give a month. Is a month too short? Should we do like 2 months? Let me know in the comments. Before then, though, Jones, you won the bet, man. You get to sign off with your trademark sign-off. Yeah. You get to tell everyone your Twitter handle. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you would like to promote. Yeah. And you get the final word on anything you've disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped in your head right now.
Okay. All right.
Always got
You can
one.
follow me at Trailer Jones. You can't watch this right now, but it's coming. There's a exclusive show coming to patreon.com/EasyAllies for $1 and above. Sponsors of Easy Allies it's not called Switch Achievements. What do we call it?
Achieve it yourself.
Achieve it yourself.
Oh my God.
And I know very little about this because I was not there for the shoot. I actually was maybe going to be on there. I was kind of on the fence whether I was going to be involved. And so by me not being there, I got some more time to work on Days Gone. I very much appreciate. Were you there? Did you switch? But these two gentlemen definitely did.
Yes.
And just from what I'm hearing from the shoot, I'm excited to see this. So I will be right there with you at the premiere of the show.
I can't make a promise about the soonness because it's going to be a bear to edit, right?
Yeah,
Ian is working on it currently.
It's an exclusive show. It will be coming to patreon.com/EasyAllies.
Episode 1,
we
not
will let you
exclusive,
know.
Yep.
I probably won't be the last person to pitch
Ep1's
this
going to
one.
be public.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to try that out with this episode and have everybody, get at that show originally. But I'm excited to see it, and thanks, guys, for putting that show together.
Cool. What's the premise of that show?
The premise of the show is there are no achievements on the Switch, and so we had our lovely patrons submit them, and then you achieved and did some or didn't do others. I don't know. That's the catch.
That's the fun of the show.
You don't know, and I kind of don't want to be
A
spoiled.
lot of emotions.
Yeah.
There are a lot more
Pure
emotions than I
joy
expected. Yep.
and a lot of salt.
Yes.
Actually, I would be way cooler with Episode 9 or Endgame spoilers than Achieve It Yourself spoilers. I'd be devastated if I found out how one of those ended.
Yes.
I'd be like, so much hype built up for that. It didn't happen. You know what else is going to be at E3? A brand new third-person Star Wars Jedi game. I don't care who's writing it. I don't care who's developing it. I don't care who's doing the music. I don't care when it takes place. I don't care who the protagonist is, what the characters are, what the plot is. Just the idea that as EA stands right now, this seems to be the tentpole. This seems to be their anthem of this year, the main game that they're going to have in the big theater. Going to be doing demos. And when I was at EA Play last year, and I passed Andrea Renee, and she's like, "You're not going to do the anthem demo?" And I was like, "I'm good." I am getting right out of that room and going directly into that line, maybe even doing it 2 or 3 more times because it has been so damn long that we can be excited about a brand new Star Wars game coming out, and I'm excited about that. And that will guarantee, whether EA is at E3, that will be at E3, and we'll be talking about it at E3. So tune in for that. Cheers.
You want to come play Sekiro and check out my sick pay?
Okay, so we're about to do our bet. We're playing Mortal Kombat 11. We're going to do a casual versus match. We're playing the default character. Turns out that's Scorpion. If you press nothing, it just lands on Scorpion. And we're holding down block for the whole match.
Okay. Is it just standing block?
Standing block, yeah.
Okay.
Only hold R2. And I'm sorry, for the round. We're going to time how long it takes us to die in one round.
All right, here we go.
I need his phone. Is anyone time it on their phone? How many seconds we got? Okay. So Brad's gonna time how long we live for.
All right, I'm going into this. So we're going into a casual match.
Okay, tell me when.
It'll be right when it says fight.
Okay.
And then they'll start timer. Okay, Scorpion it is.
Oh, sorry, Scorpion.
Yeah.
Right, going to my main.
I think just pick his default stuff.
Yeah, I picked his default variation here.
Everything's noob.
Another
So
noob.
All right, so I'm just gonna pick a random stage.
That seems fair. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, a little laggy.
Of course, later.
Our opponent is on Wi-Fi.
Ready to go.
I really like both icons. Okay, so just
Just
holding
R2.
R2.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that spike.
Ooh.
Don't play on Wi-Fi if you could help. All right, just holding standing block.
Yep. Please do it, dude. Any other moves?
Is it one round or both?
Just one round.
Okay.
Okay, so he's done the slide special move, and he's done a throw. Okay,
Just trying stuff out.
he's confused by our blocking.
He's got some combos.
Do low attacks.
That's
All
it.
right,
Time.
There we go.
42.
42 seconds. All right, Benny, you're gonna try to win now.
We can try.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
No, dude, this lag. This lag. Don't even. Oh.
All right.
All right, bro.